How do you define value when it comes to your offer, your positioning, your packaging, your pricing, and most importantly, your messaging? And how does your potential high-ticket coaching client define value? When women come into the prosperous womb and we're working together and God made women millionaires, before we midwife the gifts, before we create the offers or revise or up-level their current offers, before we position, package, and price, and most definitely before we co-create and dial in that messaging, we need to identify what your very specific client sees as value. Because in the high-ticket coaching world, in high-ticket sales, you hear a lot of coaches say to you, just go share value, give as much value, give everything away. And I believe in value. But this is the thing, it's not value to your client if she does not resonate with it. There's no impact to your clients if it does not land for her. And so you can go create quantity, all this volume of value, and it means absolutely nothing to the people you're selling to, and they don't buy. But that thing is valuable to someone else, the person who is not the perfect fit for that offer. Hello, beautiful, and welcome to the Prosperous Womb. So how do we make sure, confirm, that we are truly sharing value in the world and not just wasting our time and singing out into space? There are 4 questions I invite women coaches to ask themselves in the Prosperous Womb. And you can look at your own content today, your own messaging today, your offer, your price, and your positioning, and see whether these 4 questions are answered in the information that you are sharing in the world. So here we go. The first thing is, what is most important to your specific potential high-ticket coaching client? What is most important to her? When I look out at the sea of coaches out there and the women who come into the Prosperous Womb, who have been on social media for a very long time, one thing I see is that their messaging is not valuable to their specific client, but it is valuable to their competition. So a lot of times I see coaches putting out messaging that is geared towards impressing other coaches. Your client does not care how many millions of dollars you made last week in your coaching business. That is not going to support her to lose the 100 pounds. Your client does not care if you made 10K months last month. Your client wants her husband to look at her the way he did on their wedding night. Your client does not care about your bank account. Your client cares about the outcome and result that she wants. So the first question I ask clients to ask themselves before they even go into up-leveling their offer, before they even start to dial in the messaging, to just be honest with themselves and ask, what is the one thing about this offer, this messaging, that my client cares about the most? So look at your messaging today. Does it address the thing, the outcome, the result, the experience, the journey that your client cares about the most? The number one thing she cares about that outcome result. Is that in your messaging? Are you speaking directly to that? Because when we do these 4 things, that is when our clients resonate with everything we're saying. That is when they think you're in their head, and that is when it lands for them and creates transformational insight. That is when they see the problem, opportunity, desire, or challenge through a very, very narrow window that allows them to see for the first time it is possible for them, and this offer is available to them now. That is when they will raise their hand, ask for the sale, ask how to work with you, and then sell themselves into your high-ticket coaching offer. So do they care about that thing you're sharing about in your messaging every single day? The second thing is, what matters to them the most about the outcome or result I am sharing about? And does the language and the words I am speaking speak to that thing that matters to them the most? Does it matter to them? What matters to them the most? And is that reflected in the language and the words that you're speaking and you're sharing, and how you're showing up and who you're being in your business when you share this content? Number 3, It's what is most important to them about the outcome or result that I am selling in my high-ticket coaching offer that we're co-creating. And it's what is most important to them reflected, again, in the words and the language, in the offer, in the packaging, and in the positioning. When they hear my message, do they hear the thing that is most important to them about this desire, this opportunity, this challenge, or this problem? Or am I sitting here talking to my ego and trying to impress my colleagues with how smart I am, how brilliant I am, how rich I am, and how much money I make every month in my bank account? The fourth thing is, what is most valuable to them about this outcome or result? And can they tell that from what I'm sharing in my messaging? So look at your offer, look at your messaging, look at your positioning, packaging, and pricing. What is most important to your client? What is most valuable to your client? What matters to her the most, and what is most important to her? Is that reflected in your messaging? What she cares about, what matters to her the most, what is most important, and what she values. If that is not in your messaging, you are just going to go master how to overcome objections, which you don't need to do. You're going to go look for another sales script, which you do not need. You're going to find a new strategy, which you don't need, instead of just simply speaking directly to her, talking about what she wants, what she cares about, what she values, what's important to her, what's most useful to her, and what's going to evoke that emotion in her that supports her to say, in a sea of 1,000 coaches, she's the obvious choice because she knows what I want. She values me. Oh my God, she sees me. How does she even know that's what I'm thinking? It's because you know what she cares about, what she values the most, what's important to her, what matters the most to her. So that is how you define value. And that is the information that becomes transformational insight that you get to share. It's quality over quantity. Let me know how this lands for you.